Gasparini, and welcome to this segment of PenVoice. I am joined today by Donna Divodi, who is the Volunteer Services Coordinator for the City of San Mateo. Donna, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
This is such an exciting position and/or function to be talking about. When I was sort of doing the background about today's interview, I was so excited and thought, why doesn't everyone do this? But tell us a little bit about what you do for San Mateo.
Well, I'm a full-time employee, and I'm a part of the city manager's team, and I serve as the volunteer coordinator and work on community and volunteer engagement.
And so that probably means a whole lot of things to a whole lot of people in various meetings, but give us some practical examples.
Well, a practical example would be first to know that San Mateo has a real tradition of partnering with the residents to enhance quality of life within the city. And so the Citywide volunteer program fits right into that.
Sure.
It's also important that we find a way to link the public to the government. And again, this is a perfect way for the volunteer program to bring in expert skills and expertise, and to bring in support for city programs. So the volunteer program serves all the different departments, and it brings in the number of volunteers needed for programs and any kind of thing that we have, even at City Hall.
So what are the age range requirements? So you can take someone in high school, adults. What are you looking for?
Well, every assignment has a good description, and it has an age requirement. So in some cases, the age is 14, some it's 16, depending on what they're going to be doing at the time. But we even have programs that we do, the downtown cleanup, where it's a perfect event for small kids and their parents, and it's for groups, outside groups, for corporate and company teams. So it really ranges. I'd say we probably have about 50-50 between adults and students, and a lot of them are there for service training and service learning. And again, having a database together, it can follow them all the way through their school years, and they can add up all their service points, which would be helpful for them if they're going to college.
So what percentage would you say are people who are looking for a volunteer experience and so find you, or are you actually going into the community and trying to find various groups and recruiting various groups to come support the city?
It's a combination of both. When I receive a new assignment from staff of who they're looking for, I'll see where I most likely will find that. We created a portal on the city's website, and it's called Volunteer Source.
Okay.
And what that allows simply everybody to go to one place to find out all the openings that we have in the city. It has complete descriptions of what the assignment is. It has applications, and then you can actually see volunteers in action who have been doing some of the things you might be interested in. And then that Volunteer Source portal is the place where applications are. So when you fill out an application and you hit submit, it's going to come right to my desk, right to my computer.
So I'm interested in being a volunteer, so I fill out this application.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I receive the application, check that the information that we need is there, and then within 3 minutes you're on your way to coordinate with the department coordinator at that place.
So you then take that individual, sort of do a little bit of intake, and then connect them with the appropriate department chair.
Correct.
So what if someone just says, I have time, I want to volunteer, I'm not really sure what I want to do?
Well, that's when I spend a conversation with them before. If I have questions, like they might have said they want one thing and the other thing is maybe for teens. And so I spend time on the telephone kind of making sure that when they raise their hand to volunteer, that they get to the right locations.
Right.
That's very important. On that Volunteer Source page, we also have, if you come and you don't find something that you're interested, there are many nonprofits within the San Mateo area that are looking for volunteers. And so we have a section called Opportunities within San Mateo area. And so we post, 8 to 10 of them at a time. And so if you want to volunteer, it's okay if you don't volunteer with the city, as long as you find a good match for your skills.
Right.
And
well, and that nonprofit probably is enhancing the San Mateo area community as well. So it behooves for you to connect them.
Right. And sometimes people just come and they take just a simple assignment, and then at that point you learn their skills and what they can do, and they just transform a whole new area of volunteering. We had job seeker volunteers, basically, which we focused on getting people who had HR background and computer experience, and they had a section in the library that they're there weekdays, and they're active now. But since the opening of that from 2010, we've had 5,000 people, more than 5,000 people come through and get help with resumes, job experiences, searching on the net. We couldn't have done that without volunteers.
Right. I love what you had just said, because you might find a volunteer who thinks, oh, I have a couple of hours each week to give, and then once they have fulfilled that experience and perhaps that job segment, then they think, gosh, this was great. I'd really like to do a little bit more, and sort of move into different department areas and maybe end up spending more time. Who knows, one day they could run for city council.
That's right. That's probably not a volunteer position, but it is, yes.
Yeah, and so how do the roles evolve within the staff? They tell you they have an opening, and then are more and more staff members sort of opening up the idea to volunteers and wanting to bring more and more volunteers in?
The skills of the volunteers who have come to the city have sold the whole idea of volunteering. They can do lots for us. They can bring lots of skills to the table. So either they call me up and say, this is what I'm thinking of doing, can I get a volunteer with this particular skills? Or, in fact, I go to the meetings for events and planning meetings, so I should see if there are roles for volunteers in that. And usually there's always something that they would like, somebody either that we have already, which is nice about having a citywide database, or somebody with skills that we don't have, and we can just search for that. It's just the amount of traffic coming in and out of the city's website for volunteering has really made it very popular in terms of search engines.
Right.
And we do more than that. We have a notify me section of the website where it's for volunteer source. You can just put your name there. You'll hear the latest of things. And I would ask your visitors to try that. And we go on Nextdoor. We are on Twitter as well. Oh,
great! And we'll post all of these things on the banners on the program.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
And that brings me to another point that you had just mentioned, that once a volunteer is on the site, they're not limited to just one area of interest.
Right.
I mean, again, they can float from different departments and different skill sets. And I think that we have to explain to our viewers that these volunteers bring great amounts of information and skill to. It's not just like you had said before, stuffing envelopes and mailing envelopes anymore.
Right. Yeah, no more.
People are coming with great social media, marketing, HR skills, business development skills, those kinds of things.
Yes, definitely. We have a machine that stuffs the envelopes anymore. We don't do that anymore with volunteers. That it's just been, great, the kind of people who have chosen to volunteer within the city, and the amount of volunteering we have. Just the last fiscal year, we average 1,500 active volunteers a quarter.
Wonderful.
They're doing nearly 80,000 hours worth of service for the year.
Right.
And then there is a group called the independent sector that gives a value for a volunteer hour, so organizations can equate the effort that is put forth. And the current value of a volunteer hour is $23.07. And when you multiply that out by 80,000, you're looking at a $1.8 million contribution this last year to our whole community in the city of San Mateo.
Right.
It's significant.
So we are just about to wrap up, but you have your citywide yard sale on August 29th.
Right. That is a great event. I'm very excited about this event. This is a traditional community event with a boost of technology and sustainability. So it's very simple. You decide you're going to have a yard sale with yourself or with your neighbor, and then you just sign up on the website. Then to participate, we take your address and post it on an interactive map that's on the website. So you can just click on it, find out what you have for sale. Bargain hunters, this is the place to go on August 29th, is to San Mateo, because there is nearly 100 right now, and we're expanding the map right now to get all of the treasures out in San Mateo. We haven't done this for about 10 years. So it's fun to find, and this is really, it's a fundraiser in the neighborhood, and it's a fundraiser.
Right.
It's about connecting people in the community.
Right. Well, we'll direct everyone to your website, and we're out of time, but August 29th, jump on the City of San Mateo's website, find out about the Citywide yard sale and volunteering. Thanks, Donna, for joining us on PenVoice, and we'll see all of you next time.